Yo, good morning, good rising, 8:44 a.m. Nothing ever dies in the stores. Make sure to stream that. We're at around 30K streams. Still pushing up, keep pushing those numbers up. I appreciate those that support the album. Excellent body of work featuring Faise One, a couple tracks by Currency, and the rest of it done by myself. So I appreciate y'all for pushing that. Also appreciate y'all for reading and purchasing my book, The Target, sci-fi techno-thriller. Interesting perspective of a story about nanotechnology and black projects and such things. It's just a work of my imagination. So I appreciate those of you who've read it, who've grabbed a copy. I just got my physical copies, my hard copy, and my paperback. And they're looking quite good. Looking forward to doing another one of those sometime, likely next year. And one last thing, God Soul EP coming soon. First single, cover art's done. Mix is just about done. And I'll be shooting that out soon for y'all to enjoy on all streaming services. Working with the new distributor this time, so we'll see what happens here. But yeah, the topic of today's discussion is people don't be about what they're talking about. What do I mean by this? Sounds like a bunch of words. Simply, people say that they're about or they're for certain things that they're not really about or for. And this goes across quite a few different realms. First thing that comes to mind for me is I just did a live, I don't know, a few days ago, 4 or 5 days ago, something like that, called Troll Boxing 101. Now I had to private that one because I said some bad words on that live that could likely get me banned or even more shadow banned. But the whole purpose of it, and just some things I've discovered since, was basically is about a discussion handling trolls online. When you're on a mission, you have a certain objective, and you have certain things that you're trying to do, trying to achieve. And if you're on the righteous path, oftentimes you'll find that suddenly all these accounts, all these trolls will start coming out and just try to deter you from the path. Let's say if you're pushing truth on a certain topic, it doesn't really matter what it is. It could be on let's just say something that most narratives would not be in support of. What'll happen is these trolls will come out, coordinated, and before you know it, if you're the type who knows how to stand their ground, like I do, before you know it, you'll be boxing 10, 15, 20 trolls all at once. In the comment section, I've seen it on Clubhouse. I've seen it on every platform from YouTube to Instagram to X. And what I most recently found on X was that there was at least a couple of them that presented that they were in the medical profession. So one was presenting themselves as a nurse, and the other was presenting themselves as a neurologist. And they had about 15, 20 goons that would tag along with them. And I'm sitting there watching them attack the posts of people who say things that may not represent well on behalf of the medical establishment. So it may be a discussion about vaccines or a discussion about how certain things may cause certain illnesses, such as autism or something to that effect. And what I found was, after boxing these motherfuckers for like 1 to 2 days straight, they weren't really about that. They'll throw the most poignant jabs. First, they'll try to attack what you're doing and what you're saying. But when that's not working, they'll resort to personal attacks. Had a couple of them even start combing through my online presence. They start combing through my YouTube channel. Mind you, we're having a discussion on X. they start combing through and going all the way back 4 or 5 years back when I posted a video about myself dealing with what I thought to be COVID before it was announced. And they were just, making all these jabs, all these personal slices and stuff like that. And, I pretty much pushed them to a point to where they posted a link to my video, and they were like, yeah, I see you got 0 likes on this video where you were talking about it. It's a good thing that you said you're not a doctor in it, because it was very compelling. The dude was saying, kind of like tongue-in-cheek, snide-ass remarks. And after a moment, I decided, I was like, yeah, no, it absolutely makes sense, because that got 0 likes. Because one, didn't have much presence at the time, and two, every single thing that was about that particular topic that was being posted on YouTube was being shadow banned. They were literally scanning videos for certain terms related to it. And that still happens to this day with certain topics. But the guy decided to make this little snide remark, not knowing who the fuck he was dealing with. And he was like, oh yeah, sure, buddy. Of course you were censored. Ha 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 ha. So I proceeded to just ran through my inbox real quick and dropped 4 screenshots about 20 different channels that I had banned for talking about similar topics. And I was like, yeah, I'm censored, buddy. This is what it is. If your handlers really know who you're talking to, I've had 60 channels banned across various brands and platforms that have all been there. And I left that there. I expected they would keep trying to box me, but they didn't, because they're not really about that. What the fuck? Yeah, so I left that there with that piece of proof there. And I expected they would keep trying to box me, but they didn't, because they're not really about that life. People don't be about what they're talking about. Even when it came to the neurologist that I was having that discussion with, who also resorted to personal attacks and would spam me like 5-6 times. He'd keep replying all through the day and the night. When I would stop replying, ask me why I wasn't replying, and I was replying on other things, like he was my girlfriend or some shit. And the nurse that eventually blocked me because I was making too much sense. People will say they're about certain professions, they'll say they're about certain things, and they're really not. They're just paid trolls. They get paid $100K a year by some corporation or by, I don't know, some government to sow seeds of discord in certain communities. And you'll see the same thing all across the board. Real quick, before I hop off, I'm gonna mention the people, many, I should say, of the people who say that they support Dr. Malachi Z. York, just as a slight example, and say that they want to see him out, they're working to see him out. Most of them do not. They want to see him out. They're liars. A lot of people make their money off of him being imprisoned. And this is a major issue, and I really challenge anybody who's really about it for that particular movement to align yourself with people who actually are trying to get him out. Just see what happens. Just see what happens. But reality is, from what I've seen time and time again, most people, they won't, because people don't really be about what they talking about. Most of these rappers, they're not really about anything that's supportive of the community or building up progress or anything of the sort. Because, good morning. Because they're not built like that. They're pushing poison, and that's all they can do, because that's what they signed in their contracts that they will do. It is what it is. Ain't real gangsters out here. gangsters, real gangsters, would be the ones who are actually building communities. If they trace that shit back to the inception of it, when these tribes were formed, people don't really be about what they about. And those that are, I appreciate you. Keep pushing.